Hello and welcome to Lesson 3. In this lesson we're going to be constructing this part of the ArtBot, which is the tabletop and the hub that attaches it to the stepper motor. Alright, I'm just going to set this aside to give us more space. We're going to be using template B. See the B on the top? That has a 1/8 inch hole there and a 1/8 inch hole all the way through on that side. But first we need to cut a piece of PVC material, and to do that we take a bit of material that's 1 inch this way and 3/4 of an inch this way, and we use a thing called a miter box. And the miter box has, on the bottom you'll see one of the tabs, one of the edges is higher than the other edge. That edge is designed to go against the edge of the table, and since I'm not working at the edge of the table, I'm just going to put it someplace close. But then what we do is we put this piece of raw material in here and we bring the template up, and I'm just holding my finger against here so that these two sides are flush, and then I'm pushing it in so that this surface of the block is lined with that surface of the edge, of the outer surface of the edge. Then I can take this away and pick up the handsaw, bring it over, and back and forth. Okay, so that was fast, and that created now another block here. And we don't create the two holes to be able to clamp it. We just can hold it because it's a small hole and it's a small piece, and it's only one hole, so there's no reference to the other ones, at least on the top. So now I'm going to bring over my drill with a 1/8 inch bit in it, and just like in the other lesson, I'm going to go down here and just make a little indent, a little drill hole. And it's just for marking mostly, but it's an easy way of marking. And you'll see now we have this hole in the side that goes all the way through. We're going to move it and put it on the other surface here. And again, make sure you're pushing it up against the same surface as you did when you were drilling the top hole. And I'm just going to do this and go ahead and just make a little mark here. Okay, so I went through. Now I can put aside the template and observe this. So we've got a hole that doesn't go through, and we have another hole that doesn't go through. And at this point then we go up to the drill press and we drill a larger hole, a 3/16 hole there, and a larger hole, a 3/16 hole here. This hole is going to be for the shaft of the motor, and this hole is going to be for the screws that are used to hold this block onto the stepper motor. All right. I'm going to pause it now and come back. I'll continue once I'm back from the drill press. Okay, I'm back from the drill press, and I've made a bigger hole there that goes all the way through, and a bigger hole here that goes all the way through. And the reason why we use the drill press is we need to have a perfectly vertical hole so that when it's attached to the motor, the table will run in a flat orientation and not have a wobble in it. And it may still have a little bit of wobble, but a little wobble is okay. Alright, so now I'm going to put the miter box away and the piece of plastic that we cut from, and I'll sweep this onto the floor. I'm working in my workshop, which I sweep up everything afterwards, but you'll be using a vacuum to vacuum up the dust at this point. Alright, so now we have this, and what we need to do are prepare the holes for the screws. And so we're going to go this on the side, and we take a bigger Phillips screwdriver than the yellow one that we were using to ratchet, and that we're going to just sort of flare out the hole. And the reason is that we're going to take some screws and screw them in here, but if it's a little small, if it's a 3/16, it's too small to grab onto the screw. And at this point we're going to take 1/4 inch screws that are, I'm taking this out of the box here, and here are two of them like this. They're called 1/4-20, which means that the diameter here is a 1/4 inch and it's 20 threads per inch, and the overall length is a 1/2 inch. So this is called a 1/2 inch, a 1/4-20. And so I flared that out a little bit so that I can put this screw in and create the thread here. And since it's plastic, it's easy to do that. I'm going to use my ratcheting tool again and put the switch up to the top there, and just hold it firmly and just sort of work its way in, and it'll be a little hard at first, but then once it grabs a little bit, it will start aligning itself. And I don't know if you can see at this point, it's already started to be almost aligned. And as I take it all the way down, it'll be totally aligned. And I'm going to screw it all the way down to the bottom here. If I move it over here, maybe you can see. Let's see, where is it? Over here. If I do it here, you can see maybe better what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just going to take it all the way down, right, and do the same thing on the other side with the other screw. Remember, I'm going to flare it here, just using it sort of as a easy cutting edge. And I'm going to put this in here. You see that? And now I'll just hold it like this so you can see the ratcheting working. I like these little ratcheting things. They fit in your hand well, and you can push down on this rounded end. That gives you nice pressure. Okay, so that's all the way in, and the thread's made everywhere it's supposed to be. And I'm going to back it off now about 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, something like that, to leave enough of a gap for the thread of the stepper motor. I'm sorry, the shaft of the stepper motor. Oh, I didn't show that I put this switch to the back position, and that gives it working backwards. Okay, so now here we are. This, and the idea is that it's going to then fit onto, I'm sorry, I'm reaching over here, getting a motor. It's going to fit onto the shaft of a motor like this. Now, since it's going to be on like that, that means that the disc is going to be glued onto this top surface. So to do that, what we do is take some super glue, but what we're going to do is first prepare where we're going to be working for the gluing. And I'm going back now to the baseboard. I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper on it. And the idea is just so I don't get any super glue onto the wood here and make it messy. And since we kind of want the shiny side to be up, although this one I've used for other things, so it's not totally clean, but we'll put the shiny side up, and that means that other side is the side that's going to glue to the hub. So we're going to put glue on here, and we're then going to glue it onto there. And I'm going to take some super glue here, and we won't put it on the plastic. We'll just put it onto the top of the hub. And it doesn't take much because it is super glue. Okay, and what I'm going to do is now going to do it on this, and I'm going to hold it. I'm going to try to get that to be right in the middle of the hole of the CD. All right, this is important because if you don't do it at this stage, it's going to wobble around. And then I'm going to carefully turn it over. It's already ripped a little bit. I'm going to place it over. Well, actually, I'm going to put a screw through it. Take one of these red ones. Take one of these red screw, 1.25 inches, and put it through the hole of the hub, the side that has the screws in it. All right, so I'm going to do that. You see there's a little bit of a thing sticking out. I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to put it into a hole in the base. Whoops. Whoops. Starting out with this here. All right, what I'm going to do is, there is already a hole in this parchment paper, and I'm going to put that, and then I can wander around and do that, find the hole, and then I can screw this down. So this is now, push this right like this, and this is tightening it down, and that acts as a clamp, and it can glue up like that. And so we'll set this aside for a half hour, and it will be done. So this is the end of lesson 3, where we are making the tabletop that's going to be going around.